Hi everyone, it's Cassie, the Young Teen Librarian at East Hampton Library. Today, for our virtual make and take craft, I'm going to show you how to make food coloring and glue stained glass art. So for that, it's really simple. All you will need will be picture frames. So you're going to need some picture frames. I have two 4x6 picture frames here. There's a bit of plastic there. You will also need some clear glue. I couldn't find a smaller bottle, so this humongous giant bottle of glue. And you will also need either food coloring. I'm choosing to use liquid watercolor paints because food coloring and liquid watercolor paints are going to be, a similar effect. And then you will need something to stir with. So I'm going to be using the base of these paintbrushes to do to make the effect. So first things first, what you will need to do will be to remove the backing on these picture frames and the piece of paper that is in there. So we will prepare both of our picture frames with that. Remove that. And then you are going to want to put those little arms that you pushed up back down so that the glass is held in place. All right, and then we're going to flip them back around, and it's really simple. All you're going to be doing is putting a layer of clear glue onto the glass. You're just going to be putting a layer of clear glue onto the glass, and then you're going to be taking your liquid watercolor paints and you're going to be putting drops of it on there and then swirling it around with the glue. And the end result is that it has almost a stained glass effect on the glass. So we have we're going to be doing two today, so we have two different color schemes. One of them is going to have blue, turquoise, and green liquid watercolor paints. And the other one is going to have fuchsia, red violet, and red liquid watercolor paints. So we'll set them aside over here. So first things first, we are going to pour our glue onto our surface of our thing. So we're just going to do I'm just going to do a little bit in the middle. Well, a little bit, but that's going to be enough because we want to make sure it coats the entire surface. So that should be good. Ideally, you want to be using a little bottle of clear glue, not the giant bottle of clear glue that I have right now. So we can use the base of our paintbrush to kind of move the glue around so that the entire surface area is covered. Okay, so it is completely covered. So now you can kind of tell, see how it's like distorted on there? We're going to do this with our other. Alright, so now comes the fun part. Now it might ooze a little bit around the edges because the glass is not like a tight seal. So you might need to check that because you want to make sure that the glue is not going to pool underneath and then it would get stuck to whatever surface you have it on. Alright, so we're going to do this. We're going to do a few drops. We're going to start with one drop of each color. And then see where we need to go from there. So we're going to do some green over here. That's a little bit of our turquoise. So. Alright, this should be good. So now we're just going to take our thing. As you can tell, we have a whole bunch of dots of color on here, and we're just going to pull it through the paint. And then, you know, we just pay attention, see, maybe like hold it up to the light a little bit. But as you can tell, that is like really cool. That color is like awesome. We might need to just add a little bit more of certain colors to make sure that they are going to stand out in our final product. And then just, you also don't want to pull, you don't want to do this too much, because you don't want the colors to become muddied together and then you lose the effect. So I'll just wipe that off there. A couple of the liquid watercolor has gone on the frame. So what you might have to do is, once it's dry, because it has to dry completely, you might want to go along with like a little, maybe like put a little bit of alcohol on a Q-tip and just get the edges of the frame. Because I don't know if you can tell there, but there's like a little bit of blue there, and there's some over here and here that's kind of gone up onto the frame itself. But that is our end product. That is really cool. So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to start on our other one. Alrighty. Alright, so we've got some red. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of drops just randomly on the surface of each color. Alright, so we've done all of our colors, and we are going to start in on the other one. So I'm going to use my other stick because I don't want to like, there's still a little residual paint from the other one. So I don't want to mess that up. I don't want to mess this up with other colors. I want to make sure we stick with the color scheme we've chosen. Alrighty. This is really cool. And this is actually very like just relaxing. Just, it's not super complicated. It's not going to be, you know, requiring a lot of like attention to detail and focusing on something. So if you're like me, I don't have amazing art skills. I've got like a rudimentary art skills when it comes to this type of stuff. But this is just something where it looks pretty, and it took almost no effort to do. So you can see that is our thing. So we don't want to, I'm trying not to hold it up as too much, because I know that the glue's still wet, so it's going to slide as soon as I angle it. But but these are the end results. Like that. And that one. That's really cool. So that is our project for today. Like food coloring and stained glass. Food coloring and glue, stained glass art, or food coloring and liquid watercolor paint, depending on what you use. But that is a cool and quick and very, I would say, very relaxing type of craft to do. So there you have it. That is our craft. And if you end up wanting to hang these in your window, I would suggest getting a suction cup, like a suction cup hanger that you would usually hang, like you would hang things in your window with, and get one that has a nice good hook, because you need to be able to hook it around the edge of the frame, since we don't have the picture frame backing that has the hook on it. This doesn't have a hook included in it, so you need something that's going to catch onto the frame so that it will stay on the window. And that would be a really cool thing to have in your window. All right, so that is our craft for today, and I hope that it inspired you, and I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.